video, we're going to be exploring the difference between the conscious and unconscious mind. And this is often depicted as an iceberg, right? Where the part of the iceberg that's underneath the water is, think of that as the subconscious mind. And think of the top part of the iceberg above the waterline as our conscious mind. And 90% of our thinking is done at the subconscious mind level. Only 10% of our thoughts is using our conscious mind. So what does that tell you? That tells you that most of our thoughts are operating on, think of it as this subconscious programming. And where does that subconscious programming come from? Well, we develop these beliefs, these ideas from a very, very young age that contribute to our tape recorder in life. And how do we know we have this tape recorder? Well, if you ever sit around a group of people that think very different, right, come from diverse backgrounds, diverse ways of thinking, then you're going to see that your lens is very different from somebody else's lens. That's the fascinating part about this, is that all the ideas that shape us, the experiences that then lead to who we become, have all contributed to that subconscious programming. So the work that we're talking about today is how can we uncover, right, more and more through the process of mindfulness, awareness, develop ourselves so that we can make what is subconscious conscious. So I'll give you an example. In my life, because my parents were my role models and I watched them growing up, I watched them struggle. When it came to work, everything was very difficult. They were immigrants, they didn't speak the language, they worked 14, sometimes 16-hour days, and everything was a struggle and everything was very challenging as they were trying to create a better opportunity for me and my brother. And so what were the messages that I was picking up as a result of the life that they endured? Was that life, in order to succeed, it needs to be difficult. It's difficult and you have to work really hard. Now, as an adult, I've had to reframe that because I've noticed that doesn't work for me, and that's not actually true for me. It doesn't mean that I don't have to work and I don't have to work hard, but does it need to be a challenge? Do I have the opportunity to actually engage in things that I'm passionate about and to align things in a way that it becomes more effortless? That is an opportunity that I have. And so as a result, I've been able to see that some of the things that I picked up subconsciously were no longer working for me. And so, but that it takes work to see that. And in fact, what's very interesting is that when it comes to love, I don't know if it was too many Disney movies like Cinderella, but I used to believe that it wasn't any work, that one day I would meet Prince Charming and we would live happily ever after. And you can see how some of those messages, very disruptive, right, and very inaccurate. And now having the realization that in order to make a relationship work, it requires energy and it requires an investment of your emotional time, and what you put into it is what you get out of it. So, and again, as I'm even sharing with all of that with you, these are my reframes, right? Not necessarily yours, and you might not see it in the same way. But my invitation to you is, how do you see it? What are some of the messages that you recognize that you picked up growing up, that's your lens, that's how you see the world? And might there be an opportunity for a reframe? In other words, is that lens serving you, or is there another opportunity to see things differently that might lead to better outcomes? That's my invitation to you today.